good?
You're on.
Hi. Am I metering well?
I'm getting a lot of noise.
Noise?
Yeah.
What kind of noise? You think it's the air conditioner?
Could be.
You want me, let's turn it off. Let's see what happens. You tell me if it goes away. You still hearing noise?
A little bit, but it's not as bad.
All right. Hello. Hi, hi, hi. Are we better? Welcome. What's up, y'all? Thank you for showing up. This looks like high-tech kitchen. It is a production, for sure. We got overhead cameras, front-facing cameras. I have a production booth over in the corner. We got mics on everywhere. We got lights. It's we did a whole setup. That leads to a lot of technical issues because we're still learning as we go. This is the fourth ever of whatever this is. I am dubbing it Mike Makes right now, but I don't know what it is yet. Oh, that's a cool name, Chow8854. Okay, anyway, we're gonna jump right in. Welcome. Today, once again, like I've been doing, we are going to be taking a page from the one and the only Claire Saffitz. However, we're not taking a page straight out of the cookbook for once. I mean, we are-ish, but I'm kind of also using her YouTube recipe. For those that you don't know, Claire Saffitz has a YouTube channel. It's incredible. She has a cookbook that I've been trying to cook a lot of stuff out of. And we will be doing the apple pie recipe she just released, I think now last week. I'm very excited. For those who don't know, apple pie with ice cream, vanilla specifically, is my absolute favorite dessert. I've never made an apple pie that I know of from scratch. Cameron has made me an apple pie, but this will be my first. I'm very excited. We will, in conjunction with the series, be doing 2 recipes out of this amazing cookbook. We are going to be making, start to finish, pie dough, filling, and crumble topping. We're doing the entire thing today. All in all, this is actually a pretty quick recipe. I've tested it out. It's pretty great. And I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see if how this turns out. Everything is actually, like I said, it's pretty quick. Pretty easy, pretty fast. We're going to hop in with the, what is it called? The pie dough. So, first up, we have Claire's. She calls it the flaky all butter pie dough. This is one of the easiest pie doughs I've made. I have made pie doughs before because I have made pies before. Now I'm thinking I have made an apple pie, Cam. I don't know. He taught me a few things over the last year, but by accident. I do have chat on my phone, so feel free to chat at me. Cameron can respond to some of them in the booth, but I do have chat open. But yes, we are going to be making the pie dough. It is pretty quick. Normally when I've made pie dough or like puff pastry style stuff, you make a butter block, freeze it, make the dough, freeze it, like it's a whole thing. This is a pie dough that turns around in like 2 hours. So we're gonna go ahead and get that started. The first things we're gonna need, there's only 4 things: butter, all-purpose flour, salt, and sugar. Now, the only thing I have not already portioned is butter because most of it has to be cold or frozen and I don't want to have to take it out, cut it, do the whole thing. So, the butter is the only thing that we're going to be doing live here on stream. Everything else has been pre-portioned out. I'm very excited. We're going to grab a medium bowl. Cool. And we are going to start. I guess the one thing that's not on the ingredients list is you need a cup of ice cold water. It's very easy. You just fill a cup with water, put ice in it, and then it tells you to put it in the fridge. So I already have a cup of water sitting in the fridge. So that part's already done for me, but make sure you do that. The next thing you need is 10 tablespoons or 1 stick and 2 extra tablespoons of butter. The first thing we're gonna do with the butter, grab your knife. I'm gonna get a cutting board because I don't want to cut on this mat. We're going to take 5 tablespoons of butter, all right? That's this, plus 1 extra. And we are going to cut it into 1/8 inch thick slices. For those of you who don't know measurements, like myself, 1/8 of an inch just means like really shave it down. Just like really as thin as you can get without cutting your finger off, which for me is a feat. So, I'm gonna put this to the side real fast. I'm actually gonna put it back in the freezer real quick because we will be bringing this back out. All right, so you're literally just shaving down the butter. Very thin slices, all right? You don't wanna be touching the slices too much because your hands will warm up the butter. And the warmer it is, the more it melts, and we don't want that right now with these. We want these to retain their shape, and we want them to stay cool. All right? Oh, and I didn't mention this before. This recipe is a lot of hands-on. So, if you wear a wedding ring, an engagement ring, any type of jewelry on your fingers, I recommend you take it off. It will get gross, like really nasty.
Mike, do you want to talk about it being European butter and like the fat content?
Oh, I mean, I can talk about that. Kim's asking me to talk about the fat content of the butter. Basically, Claire recommends, and a lot of people recommend, especially for pastries, a European butter. Mine is the Kerrygold. It's technically, it's like Irish. It's pure Irish butter. I use unsalted, always unsalted, unless you're not going to add salt in which case I guess you can use a salted butter. But you always use unsalted and just add salt in later for your recipes. But the fat content's supposed to be better. It's supposed to, you know, be better for baking with. I don't know the actual science behind it. I highly recommend you look into it. Your left index finger position while cutting is freaking me out. Please be careful. Arachnid, you and Cameron both. Cameron does have a mic. He has the option to use it. He's just refusing. So
it picks me up even when I'm in here.
Oh, it does pick you up?
It gives it the more authentic talking to the producer feel.
Yeah.
Echoey.
Okay. Yeah, it's echoey. Gotcha. So I am just about done. I'm gonna leave these two pieces a little thick. It's not gonna be that big of an issue. Basically, we're gonna smush this into the dough in a bit. But now we've got all these butter pieces. What are we gonna do with them, you might ask? Well, nothing. We're gonna put them in a bowl and we're gonna throw them in the fridge. Cool? Now, small slices of finger improve taste. Yes, I have found that, you know, flesh only makes things better. So we've got our thin slices. Now, what we're going to do is in a large bowl, in our case medium bowl because it's not actually that much, we're gonna whisk together the flour, the sugar, and the salt. So it is 1.5 cups all-purpose flour. All right, I use unbleached. I don't know exactly why people use bleach, but you know, it exists for a reason, I guess. I have yet to come up with a recipe that requires it. We're gonna pour in the 3/4, that was 3/4 of kosher salt. Claire recommends Diamond. I swear by it because she does, and that's the only reason. And then we're gonna do a tablespoon of sugar. Cool? That's it, and then we grab a whisk and we whisk together. This is gonna come together really fast. The dough is surprisingly quick process. Yes?
Good ASMR there.
This is good ASMR? That's awesome.
Well, no, because I'm wearing headphones, it's not great, but yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, here we go. We're just gonna toss it. I'm not really that concerned. It comes together pretty quick. It's not that many ingredients. This is a single serving, by the way, of pie dough. Some make 2, some make more, whatever the case. Cool. We just got flour. Awesome. Now, we're gonna dip back into our fridge and we're gonna cut 5 tablespoons of butter. This part is my favorite part, but also the worst. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tablespoons here. And we're gonna cut it into about single tablespoon slices. Because we're going to turn this into 1/2 inch cubes of butter. right? All you do, tablespoons about 1 inch, cut down the middle, flip, cut down the middle. Now you've got butter cubes. I bet you've never seen butter cube. Well, that's a lie, you probably have. We're gonna toss it in and put our uncut butter back in the freezer. For those of you who don't bake a lot, I do recommend you put butter in the freezer and have butter always ready in the freezer. Chilled butter is always gonna be good for pastries, all right? So I recommend you keep some butter in the freezer. I always have tooth packs. Also, it's just good because if you run out of butter in your fridge, you have extra. Wasn't it a rectangle already? No, it was a square. I turned a square into 4 squares. So you're gonna toss the butter into the flour, then literally just smush it and break it apart. You wanna use cold butter for this because you want it to kind of crumble. You don't want it to melt into the flour yet. You're just trying to make butter crumbles. And you wanna basically mash it up and mix it until the butter, the biggest piece of butter is the size of a pea, all right? This isn't gonna take too long. Your hands are naturally gonna warm it up. Pascal is really trying to get a piece of apple slice that went behind the trash can, I think. Those cuts are not 90 degrees, so they are rhombuses now. True, yeah. This is also a math class. We're learning shapes and geometry. But yeah, so like I said, you're just crumbling this. You don't want to put too much time onto any one piece because you don't want it to, what's it called? Pascal, no. He really wants that piece. I would get it for him if I didn't have butter all over my fingers. All right. Pascal, no. Go play with your dad. How about that? All right, yep, so it's starting to happen. There you go. You're really just getting in here, mashing this up best you can. And then we're gonna go in with our butter slices that we had made earlier. Where I make dog treats, I have considered trying my hand at dog biscuits or something. We had talked originally for Pascal's birthday about trying to make him a cake. It kind of came up on us and we ran out of time, so we didn't do that, but it's possible. What's up?
I was gonna get the one out from behind it.
Yeah.
You're on face cam right now.
Oh, I'm on face cam.
Slices back here.
That's probably why he's digging at it. So this recipe does call for peeled apples, which is why there were so many apple slices by the trash can. All right, I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like here in a second. Cam's gonna go get dog a greenie. Look at that, we're literally just playing in flour right now. All right. You see that? See how mixed it is? We're just trying to make sure that these pieces aren't terribly big. It's not really like crazy necessary that they be super small. The idea is that you're getting butter throughout so it becomes flaky. You get it nice and melted once it like forms layers. It's gonna be great. So we're gonna go back in the fridge and we're gonna pull out the slices that we made. And what are we gonna do? Dump it on in. This recipe has a lot of butter, just FYI. So does like every pastry ever. But you basically want to coat these in the flour, right? Nice and good. And then you're going to take them and just flatten them out between your fingers. You're trying to get them as thin, as flat as you can. If they break apart, that's fine. They don't have to stay squares. But you got to get them thin. These are going.
Do you remember what this process is called?
No, what's it called?
It's called frissage.
Oh, it's called frissage.
I think, yeah.
Supposedly. That's what my producer is telling me. I'm hearing this from the booth. That's how you know it's going to be good, Arachnid. That's exactly right. How have you been, man? It's been a while. I wanted to do something.
You got PS5?
Yeah, how's your PS5 hunt? Did anybody get you a PS5 today? I know you were hunting. All right, see that? We're literally just flattening these out into really thin pieces. And then we're gonna mix it all together. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Well, I guess not everybody had one. Hamster's Netherlands, right? Arachnid's Canada.
Thanksgiving in October.
No PS5. How are we, isn't it like a year in?
I think it's more than a year.
How are we still at no PS5s? Why does anybody care about the PS5 at this point? Zutu, absolutely correct. Cannot have too much butter. Just buy a PC. See, that would normally work, Hamster, except for there are PS5 exclusives, or will be. Even in Asia, you can't get your hands on it. Holy crap. This thing is just gone, huh? You think Sony's like hoarding them? Like, scarcity is like their model? They're like, we can drive up the prices.
No, I've heard about that. Like, I think that is a legitimate thing that they said about the PS5.
Wow. COVID impact PS5 and other tech. Yeah, but like, why do we, at that point, I would like hold back. Like, if nobody can get the PS5, why like release stuff to it right now? I'd like hold stuff back. I'd do like what they did with Ghostbusters Afterlife, where they are just now releasing it after a year. All right, so we're just mixing it up. They're all flat. It's great. Love it. Now, we are going to PS5, almost a better investment than Bitcoin. I think anything's a better investment than Bitcoin, in my opinion. Don't take that as fact. We are going to grab our ice water. You don't need a full, like it tells you to do like a full 1 cup, like liquid cup of it in the recipe. You're only using 5 tablespoons or more depending on how dry it is. So you're gonna take a regular fork and 1 tablespoon at a time, drizzle the ice cold water and just mix it around with the fork, right? We're incorporating this water into the dry dough. We're not looking to make like wet dough. We're looking for shaggy dough. We want it to like stick together, but we don't need it to be like a big wet glob. I did that yesterday. It's not great. That's 2. The cool part is we're literally 1 step away from being done with this recipe. The pie dough is weirdly fast, and the way she makes it, you can use it 2 hours after you have prepared it, or for an extra day or so, 30 minutes to a few days, you can get it even flakier. So like, it's pretty nice in terms of turnaround time. And you can always buy pre-made. Yeah, like making your dough is not necessary, but I figured since the whole point of me doing these in the first place was to make the recipes from Claire's cookbook, we'd do that, you know? All right, I believe that was 5. And now, yep, and now we're gonna go in. You saw Ghostbusters Afterlife in theaters? Oh, I really wanna see it. I just don't know if I wanna see it in theaters, like if I care enough about it. So we're gonna knead it. We're gonna incorporate it with our hands now. I told you this is a lot of hands-on baking today. And we're not even done. Cool. The goal is to get pieces that stick together, large clumps. That's what we're looking for. All right, Cameron, can you do me a favor?
No.
Okay. My producer is saying no.
I'm producing.
Yeah, you need to help produce. Producing means more than hitting buttons, Cameron. Learn what a producer's job is.
All right, what else is a producer supposed to do then?
You're supposed to bring me the piece of plastic that's over there on the table.
Oh my god. Well, I have to put that up on the instructions first.
So, once you got it where you're in big chunks, you're pretty much in a good spot. If you still have dry, flaky pieces, basically you're looking for no flour, you're looking for it to stick together. You can, Astros, what's up? Hello, hello. You can do more water if you want, but it doesn't need to be sticky. We're just looking for it to stick together. Cool? Then, we're gonna take it all. All right, we got a big old ball. Am I on stream? Am I on the camera?
It's still the top down cam.
Cool. We'll move the water. We're done with the water. Now, we're literally just going to press it down into a square as much as we can on top of some plastic wrap.
It's not my bald spot being on stream.
Whoa, Cameron, don't be saying stuff like that. For those who don't know, Stream has been bullying me and telling me that I'm losing my hair to the points where I've used Keeps. Keeps, if you want to sponsor me. I'm now on hair loss pills because I'm so fucking paranoid about it. All right. So yeah, you don't have to get into a perfect square, but you do want it to get about 3 inches or 3/4 of an inch. You're going to now wrap it tightly. You want to be as tight as possible with this because what we're going to do next is hit it until it fills the corners of the plastic wrap, making it more of a perfect square, right? So you're taking all the air out, you're pushing it to the corners. Cool. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect. All right. See? Square-ish. It is 4 sides. What is that called, Cameron?
A rectangle?
Rectangle. Cool. It's rectangular. How's it going? Everyone loses hair. True. But with Keeps, it's now a choice. Look at Keeps. Look, I could be such a good shill for you right now. How's it going? It's going great. We're making some apple pie. Eventually you stop caring about hair, you shave your head and grow a wicked beard. Facts. I'm not there yet, but I know one day I'll hit there. At this point, you literally just refrigerate it for 2 hours. After 2 hours, you can bring it back out and you can roll it out. You're gonna hit it to make it pliable. You can roll it out until it's 3 times the width. You basically make a big rectangle and then you fold it like a letter. And you'll end up with, look at this. Look how prepared I am today for y'all. I swear to God, I am on my game today. We're gonna do our best to wipe up this area right here. Make sure it's dry. We wanna make sure that that water cup didn't drip anywhere. Cool, cool, cool. Then, once you freeze it, or not freeze it, once you fold it, you put it back in the fridge. Bam, this is what you end up with. Look at that, y'all. Transition or what? Is this Food Network? Oh my God, the content is so high quality. So what you're gonna do, first and foremost, take some flour. Boop, 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 boop. You're gonna flour your work surface so that the dough doesn't stick to it. It's very important. Cool. Then you take your now 3 times folded. See how it's folded in thirds there? I don't know if it comes on camera, but it's folded. Cool. Bam. And here's the fun part, and here's where you're gonna watch a camera jiggle. Oxo diamas, yes, absolutely. Grab your rolling pin, cover it in some flour, right? Dust the top of your pastry with some flour. Here's the fun part, you ready? You just hit it. You're hitting it, making it pliable, warming it up a little bit. And what we want to do is hit it into a square if possible. That way we can roll it out into a circle. Capiche? Oh, hold on. You know what, Cameron? They have me freaking myself out. I'm skipping ahead of myself, y'all. Ah! Rewind. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. Cool, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it later though. Don't worry. We're gonna bring this all back in. I want this mat clean still, so we're gonna remove it.
Also, I'm gonna be straight when you put it back.
Yeah, we'll have a line to line it up with. What we're gonna do instead is work on our apple crumble. For this, we will need
So we're about to hit an ad, by the way.
Oh, we're gonna hit an ad? All right, well, just so you guys know, we do have ad breaks. Every 30-ish minutes, we do a minute 30-second ad in order to take out pre-rolls for people joining the stream for the first time. If you want to eliminate ads, you can always subscribe, use your Twitch Prime, your Prime Gaming subscription here, or if it works, I'm not 100% sure it does, you can always use an ad blocker. But we're basically gonna prep for the topping. The topping is great. It's super easy, super simple. I gotta remind myself why it's so simple, so why the ad break's rolling. I'm gonna roll into the production booth real fast.
Mike, you need to talk so I can get the level back.
Oh, I covered up the mic. Hi, we're back in the kitchen, sorry. I just stepped in the producer booth real fast. So, what we're gonna need for this, if you wanna put the, is the ad rolling?
Ad's still got a minute and 11 seconds.
Oh, okay, well then I'll just prep. While the ad's rolling, I will prep my station with everything I need on camera. How about that? How's that for professional?
Mike, what's the French for this?
What's the French for mise en place, you mean? All things in its place. Basically, there's this idea in the culinary world where, not an idea, it's a term called mise en place, which basically just means prep your shit. Get everything out, nicely laid out. It's great, it's easy, and it makes your life a million times better. There are the apples. There are the bad boys. We're gonna take a clean cutting board that's not covered in butter. We're gonna make the apples front and center here. Cool. How much time is left, Cam?
13 seconds.
13 seconds. Let me know when we're back. Oh, I need the big one for this. Hello. Oh my gosh. Did I lie to you guys? I lied to you. These are the apples, but I'm gonna push them off camera. We're not doing the apples yet. That's the next step. This step is actually probably a little easier. We're gonna make the crumble. Cool? The crumble includes 1 cup all-purpose flour, 1 cup old-fashioned rolled oats. So this is gonna be an oat-based crumble topping. It's an all-purpose, it's in Dessert Person. That's why this video is still good for that. So use old-fashioned roll, do not use quick oats, basically like oats you would use to make like quick oatmeal or whatever. Those are not what we're looking for. You're gonna use a 1/2 cup packed brown sugar. We're looking for 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon. And finally, a 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt. Cool? For this, we're also gonna have 10 tablespoons unsalted butter into 2, what's it called? Into 1/2-inch pieces chilled. All right, Cam, do me a favor. For this, we're also gonna have, oops, feedback. Pull up the stream, and you can switch to the beginning of the recipe. I'm gonna literally follow the recipe along with y'all. Fun fact. I have stream pulled up. So, let me know when it's ready, Cam. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, I'm just waiting. It's got a lag. It's catching up. I promise you, it's catching up. Read me step 1, Cam. I need you to narrate for me.
Add 10 tablespoons salted butter, 1/2 pieces.
For this one, for the crumble topping, I'm gonna use butter from my fridge. So it's 10 tablespoons, right?
Yes.
We're basically gonna do the, well, not basically, we are going to do the exact same thing we did for the, what's it called? The crust, where we cut this into cubes. I'm gonna use butter from my fridge for the crumble topping. This is gonna go back in the fridge while we do the rest. So I'm not super worried about it. And it's gonna cut a lot easier. New knife, because we're clean in this household. So cut it again into those about every tablespoon. Fun fact, in America at least, I don't know how it is in other countries, our butter sticks come with marks on the packaging that I use normally to determine tablespoons. And I just follow those and I cut down. Cool. Come on. And I cut down the middle. Cool. And then I cut down the top. We got our butter. Oops. There we go, there we go. And we need 2 more tablespoons. So we're gonna crack open 1 more pack, like this is Magic the Gathering or something. Apparently Digimon's back, Cameron.
How is Digimon back?
In card form. People, apparently they made a new card game. What isn't back at this point? We're living in a nostalgia-filled world, and I'm obsessed with it. There we go. 10 tablespoons butter. We're gonna put this back in. Use this later. All right.
Mike, you gotta look at chat.
Why? What's chat saying? What does chat say? Can we get the rare golden butter? What am I missing?
You're talking about opening packs. The rare golden butter, like you're opening.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You can't keep up with your own comparison.
No, I didn't know what I was looking for. I thought somebody was asking me a question. Thank you for that, Hades. All right, with the butter. Rip. Fun fact, we do have new emotes. So if you do subscribe, you have all sorts of new fun emotes to use in chat. I have another slot still available, 2 more coming, and an animated one whenever they open that slot. Next, what's the next ingredient, Cam?
No.
I'm waiting.
1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of rolled oats,
Yeah.
1 cup of packed brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon
I'm making him read it.
salt, and 1 teaspoon cinnamon.
Exactly. So we're pretty much just dumping it all in a bowl.
Yeah, all the dry ingredients.
And then is the fun part. So we have cup of flour, cup of oats, 1 tablespoon cinnamon. What is this? 3/4?
There's 1
1/2 teaspoon. 1/2 teaspoon salt, and a 1/2 cup packed. If you don't know how to properly measure sugar, you almost always pack your brown sugar. That's how you measure it. Cool. And then you literally just get in here and you mess it with your hands. I'm telling you, this is the most hand-friendly recipe. If all you know how to do is work with your hands, boom, recipe for you. So that's kind of why I also want, I used, instead of freezer chilled butter for this part, I used fridge. I want this to come together. The butter needs to melt just enough that it kind of mixes this all together. You basically don't want this to melt in your hands. You don't want it to become like sticky, but you need the butter to mix in with everything else. So I normally go with the fridge chilled butter for this part. You're really just going down until you don't see any butter and you don't see any flour. You'll see here in a bit how it's meant to look. But yeah, literally just hands on, hands on. Hey yo, what's up, Warrior Streak? What's going on? I think that's, oh, that's Reed, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, dig in. This is a fun recipe, obviously. I don't want to be a Food Network person because I'm going to be like, this is a fun recipe for you to do with your kids. But I don't have kids. Also, I don't want to cook with kids. I don't know. I feel like that would be even messier than this already is. but she could. Kids can do this. This doesn't take too much work. If at any point it does start to become too sticky to where like it's melting in your hands or sticking too much to your hands, you can throw this in the fridge, just let it sit for a few minutes and come back to it. But as you can see, this is...
You just got a new follower. I don't know.
Oh, it's Reed. What's going on? Yeah, thank you so much. Reed. Okay, thank you so much for the follow. I can't see the followers, but my producer Cam, aka my fiance, is telling me we got a new follower. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoy the space. We do these every so often whenever I'm feeling the urge to bake. I'm a very big baker. I cook a lot. But there we go. This is kind of what I'm looking for. You want it to stick together. You're trying to get these like crumbly pieces, but you don't necessarily want it to be one massive blob. So don't just like let it sit together, but you do want it to be able to come together like this. So see that? No butter. You're not seeing floury spots, right? It's just kind of like this granola-y texture to it. Cool? What we do with this when we're done is you put it in the fridge. Tabsy K, thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, and then we wash our hands. I don't know if you want to turn my mic down if it's gonna be loud. To knock out the filling. So,
Can you close the plate cabinet?
I can absolutely close our plate cabinet. I'm sorry, I forgot that was open. We're gonna go back to the fun part that I skipped earlier. Now that the crumble topping is in the fridge, chilling, setting really well, we're gonna go back to the filling. Now the
Tabsy Key wants to know your favorite thing to bake.
My favorite thing to bake, cookies, because they're easy. Also, I've recently found like my two favorite cookies. The kind that's like a big puffy like cakey cookie is one of my all-time favorites. And I found a recipe that I've kind of worked on my own for that one. Cameron likes those a lot. But my other, if I don't like a cakey cookie, I want a cookie that is both crisp on the edge and like super, not super soft, but soft in the middle. I hate like a Chips Ahoy dry, and I hate like a brittle, like super hard cookie. So those are my favorite things to do. But apple pie is my favorite dessert. So that's why I'm really excited that Claire made this. I am basically a diehard Claire Saffitz fan. And when I found that she did an apple pie, I was like, absolutely, I have to do that now. There is no question about it. So the next thing we're going to do is start with the filling. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. For the filling, you are going to want a big ass bowl. This is the biggest one I got. Then you want 3 pounds of apples. It does not matter if they have these brown bruises. They are going to bake down. You're not going to see them. It doesn't really matter. You need to, however, peel all your apples. I don't think this is like the most necessary, but I believe it's to get like the most out of the juices. You let them sit inside the sugar and everything, and it really coats the whole apple. You're not just getting like part of the apple coated, so you're gonna really get more flavor. Now I normally throw these peels right in the trash. Apparently Pascal likes these. So I don't really care if he eats these. Apples are okay for dogs, fun fact. But yeah, you're just gonna peel. Now, in her video, she legitimately says, peel first, then chop. It will save you time. It might seem like a better idea to like peel, then chop, peel, then chop. It is not. I followed her instructions and it was a million times easier yesterday, I guarantee you. So, we have our apples, fully peeled, naked, right? All we're going to do, grab our knife, and we are going to, instead of core the apples, we're gonna kind of core it a different way. You're literally just gonna chop it on all 4 sides. You can place it down and do it this way. For a steadier cut, you know, safety and all that. Look at that, apple core, pieces of apple. Now we want these to be in 1/2 inch slices. A little bit less isn't bad, but we're going for thick. We want thick slices. We're not doing thin slices. We're not layering thin slices. We want big and thick slices.
I'm gonna have to come in there and do a tutorial on curling your fingers under.
If you want to come and do a cutting tutorial, by all means. Cam is very picky about how I cut stuff. And I've never, like other people do it too, don't get me wrong. It's not like Cam is crazy. I mean, he is, but I just am not good at cutting stuff. So Cam's gonna come in and take over cutting.
Thickness. That's an inch.
Yeah, it's about, yeah, you can do an inch, you can do a half inch, whatever you want.
So I think it's important if you're learning to cut is you want to learn to curl your fingers under, because then you can literally rest the blade of the knife right on the edges of your fingers, and because your fingers are curled under, you're not like cutting anything off. And include your thumb, like your thumb can't stick out. So like I like make this little paw, like you're like being like a dog, and then you can just literally slide down your fingers. Mike doesn't do it really well. It makes me nervous. I think Arachnid was saying that made him.
Yeah, Arachnid said the same thing.
But also, like, I'm not confident because I don't really cut as much, but when I used to cook more, I used to could like do this really quick.
And that's the thing is I don't go quick anyway, so for the most part it doesn't matter, but Cam is right, safety first. This is your best option to make sure even if you're not paying attention, you're not gonna cut your fingers off. But it is awkward, I will say that. I don't like it because it is awkward.
All right.
But I'm sure it becomes second nature, so you know, it's all practice.
That's just like my instinct, and it makes me, I feel awkward, but it also makes me know that I'm not gonna cut myself, you know?
Exactly, yeah, it comes with peace of mind. So yep, that's what we're gonna do. We're just cutting these apples down.
Tapsy Key wants to know what mic you use.
So for these streams right now, I've been using a lavalier microphone, which you can see on my chest, on my apron here. This is the Movo mic. I invested a little bit in a nicer mic. Where I work, they use this one, and I liked it when they used it. It's pretty easy to use, and it comes with an XLR adapter, so I can use it with my Go XLR still, which I liked. It's a little pricey. I wouldn't say it's like crazy as far as lavaliers go, but as far as like starting out, it's a little pricey. I did start with an Amazon. I don't even know that it has a, I don't even know the brand name. It was like an Amazon version of a lavalier mic, and it worked, don't get me wrong. I just wanted these because it comes with two. So like I have Cam in the booth, he could talk through one. The last stream I did, which was carrot cake, I had my friend come in and we both were mic'd up, which was cool. So it just offered me a little bit more flexibility. And they're battery powered as opposed to charging, which some people might think is a flaw, but I hated having to charge my mics beforehand. This way I am always ready as long as I have batteries around. I'm pretty much always ready to stream. I don't have to charge anything or prep anything with them. And yeah, for regular streaming, I do use the SM7B microphone. We have bougie taste here. Again, not necessary, but I work full time and this is a passion of mine, so I decided why not put some money into it. Cool, look at this. We got a big old bowl forming with all these apples. And this is why I say this recipe is easy. Every single step has been so... Puppy is literally standing right behind me. I think he smells the apples.
You want your apple?
Pascal, ready guys? We're gonna do a little bit of a... There we go. Whoop. Throw him a little slice. All right. This is it. And now, we are going to mix this with the rest of our ingredients. We're gonna leave that, that's fine. To get our filling completed. So, we have a big ass bowl of apples now. That's why I said you need a big bowl. It's a lot of apples. You can use, I use more than 3 pounds just because she did, and it stacks up pretty nicely. But you don't need this many by any means. Now, for this, you will need, and I forgot one ramekin, so we will be doing one live measurement. For this, you are going to add, what's first? The half cup packed. Oh, it's stuck. Baking we're doing the sugar. We're gonna add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. This is what's gonna really thicken it up and let all those juices get really thick. So definitely make sure you're using cornstarch. You're doing a half teaspoon of kosher salt, a half teaspoon, and then this is the live one that I have to measure now because I forgot to do it. You want 2 teaspoons. I almost messed up when I tried this out before, and I put in 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. You want 2 teaspoons. Teaspoons. It might sound the same. At glance, it might look the same. It is 2 entirely different quantities of cinnamon. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Cool? And then the last ingredient we're going to use is apple cider vinegar. So for a lot of these kind of pies and stuff, you need a, what's the word, Cameron? It's like lemon juice. It's a acid. You want an acid. So she recommends, and I think it works really well, using apple cider vinegar for the acid. She's, you know, if it's an apple pie, use something with apple, right? And for this, we are going to do 2 teaspoons, which is great. I have the teaspoon right here. Cool. There's our acid in the bowl. We grab a spatula and we just mix this all up. My sugar got really dense. There we go. And you basically just...
Are you gonna add vanilla extract?
Oh, I am, yes. As an extra point, and that's why it's not in the recipe, but she mentions it. For extra flavoring, you... What's that?
Arachnid just called you.
I always pour it over the food, Arachnid. You know why? So it doesn't get on the table. If I overpour a little bit inside the bowl, I just pour less into the actual cup. It all works itself out.
So this recipe, or at least this part of the recipe, is not as measurement.
Yeah, this isn't like super measurement intensive. Yeah, because it's just the filling. And so for this Arachnid, you're really gonna hate this. I'm just gonna take vanilla extract. Never use imitation. Just pour a bunch, not a bunch, but like, you know, however much you want. Eyeball that shit.
All right, we're back.
Ah, sorry y'all. We were fixing a microphone issue and I dropped my, you can pick that up. I left Cameron a towel. All right. And we're back. I think Cameron is running an ad for us. So while that's going, I'm just gonna keep mixing this. And it's actually good that you reminded me to preheat the oven. Make sure you're at the beginning of the recipe. You can always do it then. This recipe comes together pretty quickly, especially if you've already made the dough. Pretty much anytime you're making a pie or a puff pastry and you intend to make the pastry, you need to make the pastry the day before. Do not, like, even though this one says you can do it 2 hours, It's always recommended that you like let it sit for a day-ish anyway, but you should always be at least starting a day before. And you should be baking.
Do you want a clean one?
Yeah. You should be baking it the night before you want it, because then
Let it cool overnight.
you let it cool overnight and it's actually ready. I can't tell you how many hot pies I've cut into because I want to eat it the same day that I made it. And like, well, it's fine because like it's all the ingredients that I've put into it cooked. It's also mush. It doesn't hold a shape because I didn't give it the appropriate amount of time to hold a shape.
We're out of ads, by the way.
We're out of ads. Oh, cool, cool. We're back live.
Ads not running anymore.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
We're done with ads for another 35 minutes.
Cool. Okay, well, that should be the end of the recipe, to be honest. So, you have your apples. You're going to let it sit and marinate in that kind of sauciness. Let it really thicken up. Let it get nice and juicy.
Mike, don't stop while you're washing your hands.
Let that get juicy, get it all set and nice and good and delicioso. We're gonna bring back our girls. Cool. Now for this, for this final step, I'm so used to throwing the towel on my left shoulder and I have the mic there. We're gonna bring back out that dough we were working and we're gonna work it again. Let's bring back our bench flour. Always have some flour on hand to work with. Let's re-flour up our rolling pin. And we're going back to town on this bad boy. Again, we want to get it into a square. So, for anybody who's wondering, again, we start with the pie dough. You let it chill 2 hours, then it can be used. Or you can fold it into thirds to make it extra flaky. Cool, cool, cool. All right, we're gonna start rolling it out. So the goal is to get a circle. Now, if you get one or not is up to you. I am very bad at actually rolling out circles. So we'll see what happens. I usually just make do and hope that the Lord above or wherever is kind to me and my pie. There you go. You're just rolling it out. I recommend a flat wooden rolling pin. I know a lot of people have like the rolling pins with the things on the side. I hate those. I don't think they're easy to use. I think they're kind of miserable. I hate the heavy ones. This one's a nice light piece of wood. It comes with extra pieces on the side so you can actually roll to like the same thickness across every time. I don't usually use those, but they're nice to have. I mainly just like it because it's solid, it's wood, and it rolls very easily.
We can hear you literally working it.
You can hear it working?
I can hear you breathing heavy.
Oh yeah. This is work. And as you can see, I'm doing it very badly. This does not look like a circle at all, but that's because I've never been able to get a circle out of dough, ever, in my life. I usually aim for square and just hope for the best. All right.
You're starting to fit there. You need to come the other direction.
Yeah. I'm really good at rolling into a square. And once we have it nice and thin, I'm probably just going to use it anyway. But we do want to get it there. All right. I think this should be okay, even though it's not a circle. It should work. Let's see if we can't manipulate this a little bit. Normally I have Cam do dough stuff. Cam is very good at rolling out dough. He's a pro at it. Get yourself a guy who can do that. All right.
What, do you need me to come help?
No. Maybe. Ooh, it's stuck to the bottom a little bit. Can you come help me?
Yep.
See how it's stuck to the bottom just a little bit? So what we want to do with this pie dough, mine is extremely thin, we want to let it slump into the pan. There you go. All right, you don't want to
Centered this time.
You don't want to stretch it into the pan. I could have actually gone a little less, to be honest. I thought I needed to do a little more. But you do want to press it to the bottom, and you want to make sure you're pressing it against where the side meets the bottom. I'm going to put a little flour on here, just to make it less sticky. All right. If you did a circle, this would be even better. It would be so much better, in fact. Cool. So you see that? You're not stretching. You're just letting it do its thing. All right. This is going to be so wasteful. I should have done so much less. But actually, no, it did really good around these sides. So what we're going to do now is trim. So we're basically going to make it a circle now. Right? We're going to trim the overhang so it's about even on all sides. If you did this right, you wouldn't have this much overhang anyway, and it would all be in the pie, and your pie would be that much better. But as I'm not a professional pastry chef, but a novice, this is what we get. So, you got your pie, your crust is in the bottom. You're going to grab the edge and you're going to roll it under so that the crust is a double height here, right? So you're just rolling that edge over and under. There we go.
You can talk about how the pie crust is mostly butter, so you don't need like any oil or anything. Like as it starts to cook, the butter will be.
I don't know if you heard Cam. Cam is giving really good baking tips that I am failing to provide you all. So this crust, as you saw how much butter we put into it, is a lot of butter. That's why we don't need any oil or anything. So what we're going to do real fast is we're just going to press it to the edge of the pie pan. Mine is a 9-inch. This should work on an 8 to a 9-inch pan. Obviously, as you can see, there's more dough left over, so you could probably make it work to a 10-inch. Cool. Awesome. But yes, so you don't need any oil because it's all, it's so much butter. The butter is gonna melt while it cooks since we layered it as well, we folded it, it's gonna have a lot of flaky layering to it too, which is gonna be great. So now, what we're gonna do to make it extra fancy, and you don't have to do, this is perfectly good to leave it right here. Cool? But what we want to do to make this extra cool and fancy is we're going to take our thumb and our index fingers, and we're going to gently go around the corners of the pie pan, and we're going to crimp the edge. Just giving it this nice little crimped edge moment. Oop, that's a big boy. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go in and fill some of these lower pieces here. All right.
Mike, do you want to talk about if you need to patch it, you should egg wash to hold the pieces together?
Yeah, you can egg wash. So if you want to patch pieces, you can egg wash. Basically, whip an egg together and brush it over to kind of fuse the pieces together. However, we're not gonna egg wash here because we don't need to do that. We're not really trying to fuse necessarily or like stitch stuff together. You would egg wash a lot, especially if you're doing like a lattice or any kind of actual pie top to this, like if it was a crust top. But because we're not doing a pie crust top, we're not really gonna worry about that too much.
I was just saying, like, I've done pie crust where I've had a hole or a really thin spot on the bottom, and then you can egg wash and then put another piece that you trimmed off on top of that.
Yeah, and see, I don't need, so he's talking about trimming and doing like here for these little thin spots. We're not gonna worry about that. It's gonna bake in, it's gonna be great.
Yours looks good, but I've had like a legitimate hole, like through the bottom.
There we go, we got crimped edges. It's not the prettiest, and it's not the best, but again, amateur, right? Cool, we're gonna clean up the station a little bit. Cool, 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 cool. Look at all this leftover. Ugh, so delicious. All right, next up, let's wash our hands. Am I on top or face?
You're on face right now.
So we're bringing back our apple slices. You can go to top because I want them to see this.
Sure.
Claire recommends before you start filling it, and I like it a lot, followed by French silk. Ooh, did we get a follower, Kim?
Warrior Street followed you and Tatsy Key followed you.
Oh, okay.
25 minutes ago.
Oh, that's what you meant, followed by French. I got you. But she says to line the edges just to make sure that when we fill in, because we're using chunky pieces, to make sure it fills in that kind of gap between where the wall and the bottom meet, so that there's not like a pocket there. So we're gonna go ahead and fill that in.
Hey, Puppy, you want some apple pie?
He would love some apple pie, Cameron. All right, so we got a little ring around, right? And now we just dump. I don't know how best to dump on camera.
Be mindful of your crimped edges.
Yeah, definitely be mindful of your crimped edges. I'm doing my best to dump it in the middle, and you can always, rearrange pieces as they fall out. Cool, so at about this point, just because of the crimped edges, we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of rearranging. Now, we're gonna do our best to get all of these slices in this pie. This is gonna be stacked.
You get to talk about...
Also, you want all these juices in the bottom of the pan. You wanna scrape all that in. That's a lot of flavor. What'd you say, Kim?
They talk about how it like shrinks as it bakes.
Yeah, so apples will shrink in the oven as it bakes. So it's not so bad. Obviously, we're not gonna leave it this high necessarily. We're probably gonna rearrange a little bit. But we do wanna get all those apples in that we can. We're gonna leave that one out. And we're gonna get this juice at the bottom. Nice. All right, let's rearrange just a tad bit. Oopsie. See, that's what we meant by be careful of your crimped edges. Oh, look at that pile. Okay, I feel pretty good about this pile. So, I am gonna wash one more time. This should be the last time. Well, we're going to reach back in our fridge and grab out the crumble topping we made. All right, get your hands in there. You are going to be pressing this crumble topping, which should now be nice and like firm. You're gonna be pressing it into the top. We wanna make sure it forms a good dome over the apples, cool? So you drop it, you wanna press it in. You wanna do your best to cover all the apples. You don't have to, obviously, but it'll look nicer. It'll have a nice even top. The reason also you want to press this in is once it bakes, you want it to basically be all together. You want it to be a solid top so that when you cut into it, it cuts as one piece, right? Oh, look at that, we're coming together. Yes, yes, it's alive. Got a little bit of a patchwork job that we got to do. We're gonna steal and pick pieces from other places and fill in gaps as we see them. There's a pretty obvious gap right here. We're just gonna try to bury it. All right. Remember, pat it down. Look at that. That is your crumble topping. Bam, done. This is the last time I'm gonna wash. Thank you. So the oven is currently at 392. We're gonna wait for it to get up. Basically what we're going to do is we are going to put this on a baking sheet. You wanna bake this on a baking sheet. You don't want the glass or the ceramic bottom straight on the coils of the oven or the whatever you have in your oven. Boop. You want it to go through the baking sheet first. I recommend one of these. They're washable, saves your countertop a little bit. So yes, we're gonna bake it on a baking sheet. It's gonna go in the oven for about 20 minutes on 400. After about 20 minutes, you're going to reduce the heat to 350 and you're going to bake it until you see bubbling. The crust will brown up really nicely. You should see some bubbling. If the crust starts to brown first before you see bubbling and it gets like really dark and nice, you can always tent it with foil and keep it in there. You can bake it for a maximum of like, she recommends an hour to an hour and a half. The last time I did about an hour, 25 minutes. But yeah, we're gonna toss this bad boy in. Hey Siri, set timer for 20 minutes, 30 seconds. Cool. Again, 20 minutes, reduce heat to 350. After that, you're looking for bubbling and you're looking to make sure those edges don't get too burnt. If they start to brown before the bubbling, tent it with foil. Now, if you've done it right, I don't claim to assume that my pie is the right pie. You should end up with something like this. Let's clear the stage a little bit so we get a little more, ooh, oh, prestige, look at it. It's so good. Is he a professional chef? What? Oh God, this guy knows what he's doing. That's right. Oop, I dropped an apple slice in there. Look at that, we have a pie. Wow, much Food Network. Yeah, I just pulled this out of the oven, guys. It's piping hot. No. So again, I recommend that if you do bake it, you bake it the night before you want to eat it. Let it cool completely. It's a harder thing to do. I cannot tell you. I don't know that I've ever made a pie that I waited for it to be completely cool. It'll be the same, even if it's like you wait 2 hours. It'll just be mush. It's not going to be a slice of pie. So we're going to see how this works. She recommends, and I didn't know this before, but it makes total sense, you want to use a serrated knife. Serrated, is it front view? To cut into this pie.
It's going to be that the rest of the stream.
You just want to get in there.
Oh, actually, let me put it on film view really quick while you're cutting.
And you're going to cut your slice.
All the way to the edge.
And you want to make sure, yep, you cut right to the edge of that pie pan. Now, a tip again that I found out that's really cool to know, if you ever have issues lifting your pie piece, you can cut a second piece next to it to kind of loosen it up first. So if Cam hasn't abused my, where did you put it?
What?
My offset. Thank you. Kim likes to use my offset spatula for things that don't require an offset spatula.
We haven't had bagels in forever, so that's not that big.
So we're gonna do this thing that she talked about, see if it works.
This is happening live on air for the first time.
Yep, we have not cut into this. I have not seen how it looks, so y'all are seeing it with us. I'm praying to God I don't look like a fool here. All right, let's get that nice lift. Ooh. Come on, give. Let me have it. Oh, look at those chunks.
All right, I'm putting it on face cam from now on.
All right, that was great. We got a nice lift out of that. I was very excited. This one should be even easier. We're gonna slide it first just to make sure it's free.
Yeah, so the first one is the hardest because you have to you don't have an angle to get in at it. You could come from the side.
We could come from the side, but we are going to come from the top. Make sure we get all the way under it, and yes. Oh, now, in my opinion, it is a sin. I almost got mad at you, Cam. I thought you ate my ice cream.
I haven't even thought about ice cream.
It is a sin to have apple pie without ice cream. I usually am a vanilla person. I usually get the old-fashioned vanilla, but they didn't have that. They only had French vanilla. So we're gonna have the less good vanilla ice cream here today. Oh yes.
You gotta take it.
Normally I also eat these hot, so that's also a thing.
Because yours is a prettier slice, isn't it?
Here's what I need to do though. I need something to hold it from the back. I need to do some movie magic here, people. What's a good thing to hold it with? What can I prop it? Something small. Oh, that's actually that might be really good. Look at this, people. This is what dreams are made of.
The counter in it at all.
Huh?
You're not gonna have the counter in it at all.
No, I was just gonna do this.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Looks good, but
Oh, I'm very happy with myself. Oh, you know what I need to do? To the light. All right, Cam, you're in the background of it. All right, enough glamour shots.
now we gotta do the Food Network thing where we taste it and we pretend like it's good even if it's
We have to pretend it's delicious.
You take the tiniest little bite and you act like a little dainty princess.
Oh, 100%. Also, I was off chat for a bit, so I don't know if anybody said anything, but we're doing this again now. Oh, look at that. So these apples are, as she says in her video, I'm gonna copy exactly what she says. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not. They're fork tender, which is what you want. You want your fork to go right through them. That is it.
It's apple pie.
Now, I use Granny Smith. I don't think they're the traditional apple pie ones. They're tart. They're gonna give you some different flavor to the sweetness. However, I'm more of a fan of just like a complete sweet pie. So I normally go for other apples, but those are expensive. So we just followed the recipe today.
We can also talk about there's no soggy bottom on the crust.
Yeah, no, it lifted straight up. The crust was great. The crust is perfectly, it's not burnt. I'm so obsessed with it.
Maybe Mary can DM us.
Yeah, Mary Berry, come check out my crust. Come check out my solid bottom. His name is Cam.
Lies. Deceits. Well, thank you for joining us stream.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're gonna go and probably eat this pie tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm not eating any more. I've already eaten too much junk.
That's funny. I'm gonna heat up a piece and I'm probably gonna eat another one after this piece. But yeah, if you guys wanna see anything different, me cook, me bake, whatever it is, let me know. I'm really obsessed with baking. So I'm always down for more challenges. What?
We've not been on. The face cam is off again.
Oh, but they're hearing us?
Probably. Here, I'll put it on the top down cam for now.
Thank you. Sorry guys, apparently the camera went down. I'll be posting pictures. Don't worry.
Katie says we were on for a while. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those pictures.
I'm not gonna go over here. It's gonna give me feedback.
You want to just come to here? Come in here.
You on for a while? Oh, okay. Cool. Well, thank you so much. It's gonna give feedback.
Oh.
Unplug the headphones.
Ah, shit. You're
Oh,
here.
Okay. Hopefully there's no feedback. Thank you so much to former Amoeba. Thank you so much. What are you looking for? Kim is dying to transition. There we go. Welcome to the stream room. If you are new, yeah, what's up? Oh, and thank you to Maple for the chef's kiss emoji that I didn't ask for, but I'm so obsessed with. You have access to it if you're a subscriber, so please feel free to use it.
Hold my pie for a second.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I'll be back at some point tomorrow.
How you spell it? I hope that link works.
Nope.
Nope, that's wrong. Don't shout that person out. Delete that. Delete it. How do you spell Maple?
I don't know. Look it up on the... What are you doing? Just look it up on here.
Oh my god.
There's not two L's in Maple. There's an E. Goodness gracious, I have a producer who doesn't know how to spell. But yes, thank you so much for joining us. I'll be back tomorrow with either Daddy Dating or Castle Crashers. I haven't decided. Maplelicious, E. I said there's an E. I-C-I-O-U-S. I-C-I-O-U-S.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We hope to see you guys again in the next one. Okay, can you go back to chat so I can see chat? There we go. All right. Bye, Hades. Bye, Hamster. Thank you for everybody who followed today. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. I really appreciate it. Oh, links. I have a bad producer.
I've been juggling a lot this stream.
If you want to catch more of me anywhere, use those links in the chat. We have a Discord and a Twitter where I post a schedule. I have a YouTube and a VODs channel where these videos go eventually. VODs channel for sure, YouTube channel whenever I find time to edit. And yeah, there's no music playing. We're sitting here doing nothing. It's just
There was music playing, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, there is, you're right. All right, bye y'all, thank you so much. I'll see you around. We gotta hit the... Bye! Hit the transition. Okay, bye. No, don't. I'm gonna find somebody to raid. Hang around, you can earn some channel points.